The entire Zionist entity is falling apart. They are now panicking. The entire Zionist state is in a panic mode. They are now seeking shelters. We'll talk more about that in a second, but I want to show you something very, very important. You take a look at this map, right? I'm going to be zooming out so you can see where exactly this location is, because it is important to pinpoint where this place is. So this is a place called Qaza, okay? And this is in, or Koza, or Qaza, different, depends on how you pronounce it. And this place is in Lebanon. And IDF, they have the military presence there. Big victory for the Zionists. Oh, they are in Lebanon. No, wait a second. Do you know when they invaded or entered into Lebanon? When? September 27th, right? And today is what? October 19th. Almost a month now. This place, Qaza, that I'm showing you on the map, do you know where it is located? Deep inside Lebanon. At the heart of Lebanon, and they're destroying Hezbollah. It's been 1 month. They're getting support from aerial bombardment. They're getting support from U.S. weapon, and they're just flattening the city. They're just killing everyone, women, children. They have displaced 1 million people. So now they're winning. No. This diaper army, they do not know how to win. They're so terrified, because when I zoom out, this is where Qaza is. This is where Qaza is, guys. And this is where Qaza is. Where is Qaza? It is very, very close to Israel. So they made barely any progress. I'll actually mention to you more in details about this fun stuff in a second. But guys, this shows that the diaper army, they're so afraid, so terrified to march on that they're barely doing anything, sitting at the very edge of Lebanese and Israeli border. They're doing really nothing. They're just sitting there having fun, waiting for some media propaganda. And obviously, the Western media, they show you, oh, IDF entered into Lebanon. They're doing this, doing that. Okay, so let's talk about that more in a second. But I want to show you something else. So this is what was reported, that the drone, we all know, that Netanyahu's residence was attacked, and the drone hit the residence. It was a direct hit. Never was imagined by Netanyahu, who said, we have reached everywhere in Iran, and now the drone has reached everywhere in the Zionist state, including his own bedroom. His own bedroom. He said, I have reached everywhere in Iran, and now Hezbollah says this drone has reached inside of your bedroom. How anti-Semite the drone is. How anti-Semite the drone is. Oh my God, this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. Okay, so what kind of drone was this? Shahed 101 drone, most probably the electrical motor version with low heat and sound signature, was able to fly lower than radar detection levels, 200 meter and lower, for more than 70 kilometer, and hit a building in Caesarea, I don't know how you say it, north of Tel Aviv, where Netanyahu's residence is located. The last drone they have launched that was not intercepted, it hit a target in a place, I believe it was in Kiryat Shimona. That drone flew 100 kilometers. This one flew 70 kilometers. So Iran is master. They are the pioneer in terms of this drone and the technology of it. Now, this is the picture of the damage on Netanyahu's residence. So the drone launched by Hezbollah and targeted Netanyahu's house was used for the first time in this war and traveled 70 kilometers before falling. And a very large media blackout by the occupation. We hope that Netanyahu was present in his house at the moment of the targeting. He was not there, but obviously he was in his bunker, in his in the underground, using people as a human shield, unlike what happened with Yahya Sinwar, who was not using human shield. Now, anyways, so the point here is that media blackout, guys, we do not know a lot of these casualties, the devastation, the destruction they're facing. We don't know, none of those. And this is how they want to hide their crime too. It is convenient in every way. They black out, they issue a gag order on even including Western medias, pro-Zionist medias. No, don't report anything. And that's how they hide their crime, especially what is happening in Gaza. And at the same time, they also hide their faces, and they're using media blackout to really save their faces from humiliation, because they don't like to be humiliated, because narcissist people, they don't like to be humiliated. They do not want to accept any defeat, and they don't. So I don't know if you are alive. Somebody wrote, Voice of Yemen, when you assassinated Nasrallah, you thought Israel would become safer. Today your own house was targeted. Now Hezbollah is stronger than ever. And this is exactly what I said just now, that he said he has reached everywhere in Iran. Now Hezbollah's drone has reached in his bedroom. So by killing these people through deception, guys, don't think that Israel was smart and they had the technology to strike Nasrallah and assassinate him. Don't think that. The reality of it is that they have deceived him. They told him, we are going to do a ceasefire with you, Nasrallah. And so Nasrallah, Hassan Nasrallah, he took his guard off, and then all of a sudden this deceivers, they attacked and killed him with a bunker buster, as we know. So this guy is not just a monster. He is everything, including a deceiver, a big deceiver, a liar, and you just name it. Now, Hezbollah posted surveillance footage of Netanyahu's residence, if you do not know, back in the month of July. If you see this on the screen right now, this is the picture, the footage taken from this drone over Netanyahu's residence. This was published, I believe, before Fuad Shukr was assassinated, Hezbollah commander, for which Hezbollah officially entered into the war, if you like, and they started hitting Israel with barrage of rockets. The point is, Hezbollah, they already knew all the details about his location, his whereabouts, where he was hiding, where he lives, and all those things. And nobody, with all of this THAAD missile, Iron Dome, Paper Dome, Tiger Dome, with all of those David Sling, all of those defense systems they have failed spectacularly. Now, Putin is someone who is getting involved in this war every single time. If you take a look at this video, this is what he's saying. The main method of resolving the Palestinian issue is the creation of a fully fledged Palestinian state. These days he's talking too much about Palestine. Why? Because he is supporting Hezbollah big time. I said in my another video that Putin, Russia, is directly involved with all of these attacks that are coming to the Israeli and the Zionist forces from Hezbollah, the technologies and everything. Putin knows all of these things. Maybe Iran, I know that Iranian drones, they're more effective and they're more advanced than Russian drones. This is why Iran is actually supplying drones to Russia. But Russia is nevertheless aware of all of these things, how these are happening. So Putin is saying now that the only way you can solve this problem is by giving Palestinians their rights.
Главный способ решения палестинской проблемы – создание полноценного палестинского.
Okay, I'm not going to be playing the video because it has music. I don't want to get copyright for that. And then you also have Putin saying another thing about what is happening in Gaza, that it is unacceptable and that he feels for them. Now, when Putin attacked Ukraine, I'm sure for just even for 1 second, he thought, this is cruel. Killing, when you have war, you will have collateral damage, right? So I believe Putin was, even for 1 second, thinking, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But then when he looked at Netanyahu and what Israel is doing in Gaza, I think he was thinking then, I had been a saint all this time. Because what Netanyahu is doing, what the US is doing in Gaza, is absolutely not even comparable with what Russia has done in Ukraine. Because what US and Israel have done in Gaza is monstrous. This is a level of atrocity and oppression that was unheard of, even, as I said, including for Putin. Now, we have talked about hypocrisy, double standard of the West. Let's see what this guy from this journalist is talking about when he says that U.S. is now actually sanctioning Iran for supplying weapon to Russia. Well, what about you guys, U.S. and U.K. and Germany, supplying weapon to a genocide maniac?
Last month, the Americans said that they had strong intelligence suggesting that the Iranians are sending ballistic missiles to Russia, and that those ballistic missiles were fired by the Russian army targeting civilians and destroying entire areas. And they started imposing sanctions on individuals and companies operating in Iran. The Europeans
Okay, so now
decided to do the same thing, saying that they have also strong evidence to suggest that the Iranians are providing significant components of drones and also military equipment to the Russians. And they decided to impose sanctions on 7 individuals, including the Deputy Defense Minister, SYED Hamza Galandari. And last month,
unbelievable, they're sanctioning the ministers of Iran for supporting Russia in the war when Russia is not doing committing any genocide. Unbelievable. Like we all know the double standard, but this is too much. This is too much. I mean, okay, whoever. I mean, it doesn't matter. I think we have gone past that line where we used to worry about U.S. sanction. These days we don't, because the world has changed. But obviously, Sergei Lavrov from Russia again talking about one of Israel's goals is to draw Iran into military action in the hope that U.S. will directly join the war, like Zelensky, another Zionist. He's a self-proclaimed Zionist, if you do not know Zelensky, Volodymyr Zelensky of Ukraine, who wants a similar thing, Lavrov of Russia. Now, this is what Professor Morandi has tweeted. Iran is expecting a heavy strike from the Zionist regime. The response will be disproportionate. Iran's response will be far more destructive. The Islamic Republic will impose deterrence. It's fully prepared to launch many waves of heavy strikes to achieve its this objective. And he's talking about Israel attacking Iran and then Iran responding to that attack with heavy artillery and bombardment. Now, I want to actually also talk to you guys about this one, the one that I talked to you in the beginning of this video, which is this. So basically, when I showed you the map of the IDF entering into Gaza, this is what came. This is how I found out about this. IDF could not invade more than 1.5 kilometers into southern Lebanon's village, discloses a reporter. So a reporter is already there, and he's verifying all the things, all the details, and he's saying he's actually right there. And he's saying that this correspondent, his name is Ali Martoda, reported that Israeli occupation forces have only advanced up to 1.7 kilometers into Lebanese territory, with the deepest points they have reached being Rab Talatin and Kouza in South Lebanon, where they were confronted with resistance fighters. Despite these advances, much of the terrain they initially occupied was already considered military fallen. I'm not going to be reading the details of it, but you get the point, which is that IDF or IOF, or the belligerent, this terrorist organization, did not make any progress whatsoever entering into Lebanon, but they have managed to kill thousands of innocent civilians, both in Lebanon and also in Gaza. And that's what they do. The maniac, the butchers of Gaza, they're really good at killing innocent civilians. And, when they face real men, they turn their back and they flee. This is exactly what is happening right now in Gaza and also in Lebanon.